Oh no. Here's how does this work? When I look at events and maps, that is not affected by my language, right? So I go to Espanol. If I select Espanol, the main navigation is still in English. And then when I go to, let's say, events and maps, that is fully in English. So the language selection currently only applies to reading, to the learn.
Oh, you guys have got some
Which
nice
is
logos.
probably because of how they built, because it's built on Ghost, which is limited.
Thanks, guys. I'm
Yeah.
just jumping over to you guys and just grabbing some stuff. Thank you so much. Perfect.
So I feel like at the top, we really only have learn, communities, and about. Let's give this a fixed width here.
Okay.
And then when I pick learn, then I have topics and I have language selection. Dee, 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 dee. Okay, so I might have something like this, which is okay. And then when I'm in communities, I basically get the events and maps page. Yeah. Yeah, Michael, I don't know how are you doing with your. What I'm trying to do is
Yeah.
strip things down, so it's more step by step instead of putting everything in there.
Yeah. So what I was what I was trying to do. Oh, I should mirror my video, huh?
Actually, your video looks fine to us. My
Oh,
video looks
only.
mirrored to me. It's
Ah,
a I don't know if it's a Jitsi thing or whatnot.
okay. Well, so what I was trying was kind of to have the tagline here with the logo, and then I have I was trying out to have the um, categories here as well. I mean, hmm, it could also be learn, right? I'm not sure if, yeah, oh, I have books double. Yeah, books is probably part of learn, but still you might have. authors, and I think we also need somewhere a kind of a sign in, because authors need to sign in to write stuff. But yeah,
Yeah, the question is just whether that needs to be in the global navigation.
yeah, and I mean, what we could do is somehow.
I mean, on mobile, none of this will work anyways. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a selector at the beginning, or this here, your own language could be a drop down, a language selector drop down, but that's pushing it a little bit. And it looks way too tabby. I mean, there are too many tabs, so these main categories might look like buttons.
I'm trying to block this thing. So I'm actually playing around with the idea of a clock. And then they would use the clock to select their language. Because he liked that from Wikipedia. So I'm just being really playful with I don't even know how to design a clock, but anyway, I don't even know if that's practical. And then I say,
Yeah, I mean, with a language, it would be ideal if there was just a good default pre-selection. With topics, I'm curious how helpful that is. So okay. I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna go to Deutsch. And then I see there are 242 posts. And let's see, what are my categories? Well, as soon as I go to categories, well, I'm interested in culture. Okay, now I'm back to seeing them across all languages. So I guess I'm curious how I can combine tags, which I don't think is possible. So I either see things by category or I see things by language. If we're staying within the limitations of Ghost, which I believe we are.
well,
So, I mean, in that respect, maybe categories is not that helpful because it does throw you into this mix. Like, let's say I want to learn .Lightning Network. First one is Italian, second one English, then German, then Italian, Polish, Spanish maybe? Let's say I don't understand any of those, then it's not really that helpful. So within those limitations, maybe it is language that is really the thing to highlight, the most helpful thing. Because a Spanish article about mining is not very helpful to me. So maybe we don't need categories as a primary thing. So that would slim things down a bit.
Okay, if you can't combine tags,
You cannot combine. Oh,
Yeah, that means basically you select a language and you leave the rest be. Yeah.
well, my idea might not necessarily work, but maybe if they really like it, they can build it off Ghost. But yeah, I don't know. This is yeah. I think that was a good idea from you, Michael. That if people are who are bilingual, that they would be able to
Well,
read.
I mean, it really depends on what the access point is. If I want to read something about a topic, then I want and I speak multiple languages, then I want articles or resources in all those languages. But if I speak only one, I mean, I'd still probably want to narrow down by categories in any case. So, I mean, if Ghost is too limiting, then yeah, then it is too limiting. But still, I think it would be important to kind of be able to filter by language and category in any case.
Okay.
Or that we kind in your. So I've worked on I worked on some news. Actually, let's see what other stuff's on. At the top. You have Twitter, Telegram, LinkedIn. Okay, Snort, Blockade, Hashrate, RSS, authors, sign up, partners, author, login. So there's authors and author login. Then you have light and dark mode toggle. Interesting. Just gonna look at this content here real quick. So I think the getting started thing makes sense, but maybe a different type of getting started. I'm gonna look at that real quick. Get started, and instead of sending me to an article, do something else. Read articles in your language. Number 2, find your local community. Translate articles to your language. I don't know what else. What else can you do here?
Mm, this is at 20%.
Follow us on the socials.
Okay.
There's a shop.
Welcome to our community of Bitcoiners in Europe, across European countries, blah, blah, blah. Got it. Dodge. Yeah, so that would be a much more explicit thing. Then you could lead them into the content. Which, so you have all the language categories listed, you have all the topics listed. Okay, you have latest articles. Yeah, here's the thing with the homepage is that top you have latest articles,
Mm-hmm.
then you have all the tags, so 6 articles per tag, and then you have all the content tags, then you have all the language tags, because they're mutually exclusive from what it seems like, and that's why the homepage is so long. So I guess a question would be, so this is the kind of everything homepage, the smorgasbord buffet. Everything is laid out. You have to go through and scroll the whole page and try to find the topic that interests you, or find the language that's yours. So by putting the language selection topics at the top, of course, you don't need this anymore. And then the homepage could be a lot simpler. It would basically just be one language or one topic. So one tag, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
If the browser can automatically detect the local language, you could pre-select that as well. And that way you could really just focus it. So that's basically, I land on here, it selects my language tag, and then maybe I see the top, the latest articles, and maybe the most popular articles, and maybe articles tag beginner, if that can be done with the double tag filter. And then it could still be cool to say something like, to show a map of Europe, potentially. Europe map, file type, SVG, find. Yeah, what I was about to say is, so in addition to this personalized one, it would be nice to show what's on this site in total. Okay, so I'm just gonna put placeholders in here. So this would be recent articles in selected language. Delete everything else.
I see you flying by, Michael.
So there would be 300 pixels height. Then give this. Then this could be most popular articles in selected language. And this could be maybe beginner articles for all the newcomers. And this could be look at all we have to offer here. Obviously just a placeholder. So you'll have something like twelve articles here. 31 here. 31 here. And here. Well, I guess the downside of this is that you only have numbers. It could be just different sizes of dots, and dots including both events, communities, and articles. Maybe even different size. So it's almost at the hour here.
We're almost at the hour, yeah.
Going by fast.
Oh,
How are
wait.
you two doing?
I don't.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Michael.
I really feel that the tags, the way they're implemented, are making it really hard to use this site. So
Yeah.
I think that's definitely one thing that I would change for the usability, because if you get lost each time you click on something basically, and yeah, there's no transparency as to what my current language setting is. It's not clear to what it is applied to which content type. I mean, we figured it out now, but it's really, I think that's one of the big things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just shared the link with. I think that is because this is built on Ghost. They have to work, which is essentially a blogging tool that also kind of works lightly as a website builder. And they have a tagging system. Last time I worked with Ghost was a while back. Maybe there is a way to have a page with multiple tags. So it's like tag/news/German.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they have that. Let's just ask the internet. Ghost. Filtered by multiple tags. Filtered by multiple tags. URL. Someone already asked this in developer help. Okay, looks like this would be called content collections. When I go content. Okay, so I think it's called a content collection. Okay, I'm not going to go into this, but yeah, so that seems like, but technically, if it's possible, then
You could use the collection as an organizing principle for like categories, for instance, and then use languages as tags, or the other way around.
yeah, I don't know which is best. So tags, yeah, I guess it just depends on the details of how this stuff works, how flexible it is. Combining tags would really be the easiest. Not sure why they make it so hard. Seems like a very simple filter mechanism, but maybe this content collection stuff is even better. But if that's possible, I think that would clean a lot of things up and provide a more guided experience into this whole thing. And then I would also see if just get all this stuff out of the header. All these 5,000 links. So if there's an author login, maybe on the homepage on the side, you have a little box, or you have a little admin. You could have just a small contact icon. You click it, and then you get all the options for, or yeah, just some expandable menu potentially for all of this extra stuff. Just to really focus on the primary navigation and at the main content. Yeah, to lead people into it. So the information architecture is definitely a task here.
Yeah, it's a big one.
How's your block clock? Your Europe clock?
Come, hop over and have a look. Things are extremely playful over here on this side of the world. It's like all that time I spent learning how to create art on canvas just comes back. I become really playful. The block clock looks terrible, Christoph. It needs your design, your finesse.
But we're not finessing here. We're just top level thinking through stuff. And I like your playful approach to things.
Yeah, I like being playful. I don't know. That's just me. I stole some stuff from you guys, because good artists steal.
Yeah.
So I'm just stealing as I'm going along.
So you have at the top. You have to pick a language. So you don't really pick you pick a time. Which, yeah, I guess that's the thing, right? You could. I guess it totally doesn't work because not every language has its own time zone. I
No,
don't know if it's meant to represent time. That's a tricky
yeah,
one. And countries are also not languages, right?
yeah.
It's also not the same thing. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't. There doesn't have to be logic. You just have a bunch of these language circles, and you just pick one, and that's it.
Yeah, it could be like a puzzle even. Some puzzle approach or
Maybe
something.
they're just nicely arranged in some nicely looking way, right? It doesn't. There doesn't always have to be all this logic in there,
Yeah.
especially if there is no underlying pattern.
Just some random configuration could be very playful over here. I
Mhm.
It could
think.
be a language cloud, like you have word clouds.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and I'm curious with a language selector if you could, if it makes it too messy, or if you hover it, or if there are these little bubbles that also tell you how much content there is in each one. But
You could even do something that would make people feel proud of their like language, you know. I know I'm thinking out loud, like some guy who looks really Mexican wearing a hat and the hat has the flag in it.
well,
So
how
you
did
have
we just expand Europe?
yeah, like no sorry, oh, jeez. I'm not thinking clearly. Okay. So German so Germany and then
Lederhosen.
you have this German looking guy wearing this hat and then it's I don't know, everyone's wearing the same hat and the hat has the flag on it. And then they have to choose these funny hat faces, you know, I don't know. It's a bit more playful than the clock.
Yeah.
Some people, you know, just making them
Yeah,
feel.
I mean, you could also, when you pick a language, let's say on the left and on the right, you have some image. That image changes to represent some city, some language, maybe some people, maybe local communities. I don't know. So you get instant feedback.
Or if there was an animation and then you click on the guy wearing the German hat, and then when you click on him and you select him, he pops out and he starts waving the German flag. I don't know, you know. It would you could have a lot of fun with
Yeah,
the language solutions.
yeah, but I think that's an important thing to, like you said, make people proud or give some sense of identity to all this stuff. And then, so communities currently has no language filter. You
Oh,
basically work with either a map or an embedded Google Calendar, I think. There's a Bitcoin business map. Is this BTC map being, I'm not sure what's being embedded here. So we have a map, and we have two maps, one for stores, one for local groups, and then a calendar, embedded calendar for events, and then a list of conferences. So when you go into communities, communities might, I don't know, maybe should be just called local, I don't know, events, activities,
local media.
communities, people, I don't know, something, but maybe community maybe. I don't know, something there. And then you would not have the language selector as it is now, because you're looking at the whole map. For a conference, you might travel to different countries, so you don't want to limit it as much. The map could already automatically be zoomed into your location if you give permission.
Hmm.
So you would not have a block lock or a language selector necessarily in that communities page, because it's only tag driven, right? It's not a proper, like, it's not like a UI wide language picker
Yeah,
that then
yeah.
translates the interface itself. You're picking tags assigned to articles technically right now.
You could have so much fun. When you type in German guy icon, it's a guy just holding a beer in his hand. So there's this association
but
of
that's going to
Germans.
be a problem
That's
because
okay.
checks would be depicted in the exact same way.
Yeah.
Literally, I'll just save the image and I'll drag it in. You literally get this German guy with
I'll search for a Czech guy and then see what happens. But yeah, there are, like, Austria, and there's a lot of overlap between
so here he is. So
uh,
you could literally have him,
cultures.
you know, and then I don't know, you know.
Mm.
Yeah. There's a lot of fun to be
Yeah.
had with this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
We're at the hour, so I don't know what you guys.
No, I mean this was as with the design process. You have a broad discovery. You just kind of throw stuff out there, and you don't worry about it too much about it. You're just kind of poking holes and throwing things against the wall, and you just see what happens. And then over time, as you have more and more sessions, you narrow in, then refine and something, and then get into all the details. But right now, this is a loose discovery,
Yeah.
so just feeling things out.
Yep.
So all good. I don't think we have to have any super final conclusions here.
No, I think we just kind of share it with him, and then they can decide how they do move forward with it.
Yeah. And we have different topics, just global navigation, design, information architecture, the whole language tagging, which is kind of a technical thing about technical capabilities. Mo, you dealt a lot with this, how it feels, the whole thing, how you give it personality and expression. So various subtopics there to discuss and feel out. And of course, we skipped over a lot of details, but it's okay. It's just a jam session.
Do you know, actually, random idea of the day? So the images that Christoph generated for the card deck, I'm pretty sure you could get some really language specific country looking people. That might even be cool, like some card tiles or something. I don't know. My creative brain is just running loose at the moment. You could,
Yeah, I mean, sometimes these stereotypes are appropriate and sometimes they aren't.
yeah, you have to
I'm not really sure what the audience here wants. The you could also just have capitals of different cities, or I don't know, or the outline of the. You could just show the outline of the country. Like you could have a map that zooms as you select different languages or countries. It zooms in and highlights those, and maybe shows you how much content there is for each one.
That's a good one.
You have some different things you could do there.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, it'd be nice if that already somehow leads you into the content of the website or
Yeah.
into the communities. Like you pick a language and it tells you, okay, there are 27 communities and 400 articles. So and here are the topics. Which ones do you want to go with? And I guess you could still have
Yeah.
just a what do you flair visual.
If that would work development wise, you could literally just have your main, like it could be half a page, literally the whole website, and as you click in and you dig in, it just keeps on opening up everything. That would be amazing. But yeah, there's limitations. So yeah.
Okay, cool. I guess the general will have to watch this on YouTube now.
General, we did this for you. Hope you enjoy it.
Well, we are European Bitcoiners too, so we are building a website for our kind.
Yeah, exactly. I'm waving the Dutch flag over here.
Yep.
All right. Shall I stop the recording?
Yep, good idea.
Yep.
Where is it? Stop recording.